Welcome back to another edition of The Modern Athlete. Glad you're with us. I know we've been on a break for a while. It's because I've been sick, so I had to stop recording for a while. Today's episode will be a preview of this year's Ludlowe baseball team. Today we have Matt Longo, who's a captain, and Matt Vivona coming on to the show with us. Ludlowe baseball went to the FCIAC championship in 2019. That team was led by leaders like Derek Tallman, Blake Benway, Chris Benton, and James Flink. This year's team has a lot of seniors, and it can go for a deep run as well if they play their cards right. We're very excited to be joined by Matt Longo and Matt Vivona today. They're going to give us a little bit of preview about this year's baseball team and see how far they can go this year. So without further ado, please welcome Longo and Vivona.
Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process. You're not in love with the process. If you will be a champion, if you will be a beast, you're going to have to go through something. Ain't nobody going to hand you nothing. Ain't nobody going to hand you no championship. Ain't nobody going to hand you no title.
All right, so I'd like to welcome Matt Vivona and Matt Longo to the podcast. All right, guys, so with the season being canceled last year, with the pandemic and all going on, how do you think you guys were impacted in your training and preparation and all that?
Well, I was fortunate enough to have a home gym. So, I actually didn't really utilize it to my full ability because I was lacking knowledge on how to actually work out at the time. And so I think V could agree with this,
Yeah, especially during that time. It was good that Matt had the home gym so he could go there when the gyms were closed. And he got a bunch more equipment, as quarantine went on. And we were also able to go to, Kiwanis and outdoor cages at the time because, anything outdoor was better than indoor, so we could still do a lot with baseball, for sure.
Yeah, Matt, you actually had some of that equipment before the pandemic hit, right? You had, some of your weights and stuff?
Yeah, I just had a bench and, some dumbbells.
Got a lot of it once
I actually started taking it seriously, I started investing my money. And
Yeah, no, it definitely costs a lot. I know my home gym, I put in about $1,000 into it. It costs a lot of money to set that kind of stuff up with all the weights and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all adds up for sure.
It's a good investment though. Just being able to train at home instead of trying to go out and train indoors with everyone else. It's a good investment for sure. Matt, with the 2019 team that took you guys to the FCIAC finals, being led by guys like Derek Tallman, Chris Benton, James Flink, that team was full of great leaders. What are some of the things that you guys learned from them, and how do you think that will carry out into this season?
Well, those guys brought amazing energy to the field every day. They led by clear example. I think this year we just need to bring the same energy they had, and we should be fine. So
yeah, I definitely agree with Matt on that. The energy in the dugout everywhere, they were ready to win. They also had a ton of confidence that I think they always felt like they could beat anyone they stepped on the field with. So that was big as well. So I think if we can have the energy they had, that'll be really good for us.
Yeah, definitely high energy. I know Derek was a friend of mine. He always brought the energy on and off the field. So definitely trying to match that. With preseason going the full swing now, what are some of the things that you guys are doing currently to get ready for the upcoming season?
We invest in this training program we're doing, 4 to 5 times a week. We're working out and we're hitting whenever we can. And I'm throwing 3 times a week right now.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of tough right now to do everything because I'm playing basketball as well. So I have that season right now, and we've got 3 games a week. So it's tough, but try to get at least 3 solid workouts in a week, and just hit with a guy I hit with a coach I hit with at least once a week with him, and anytime I can on my own. So doing the best with that right now.
You guys play a lot of great FCIAC teams. Always great to see you guys play Ward. That's a great rivalry every year. Who do you think you guys are looking forward to playing the most this year, and why?
For me, Staples, 100%.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with Matt. Either Staples or Ward.
Yeah,
Staples is always they beat the
2019
the FCIAC championship. So, and they're supposed to be really good as well. So I think that'll be a big game for us, and of course Ward, because I got a lot of friends on that team.
So what are some of your personal goals for this upcoming season? What are you looking to try to improve on in your game, and what do you think you're gonna be able to do with your game?
For me, pitching-wise, I want to be able to command all 4 of my pitches for strikes. I want to get ahead in the count, and I just want to compete, you know. I just want to bring the energy when I'm pitching. Even when I'm not pitching, I just want to bring it, you know, bring it to the team.
Yeah, for me this season, I definitely – something I want to improve on was hit for a little more power this season. Kind of want to hit more balls in the gap. And also with fielding, I've really worked on a lot of outfields. I'm primarily like a middle infielder, but this past summer and fall, I've played a lot of outfield as well. So I think that can help us if I can play, you know, infield or outfield based on what we need.
Longo, you know, you recently hit 89 on the mound. You know, with everything, with you starting the offseason at around 80 miles an hour, how did you increase your velocity so much to the point where you're able to get up to the 90-mile-an-hour range? What do you think most contributed to that, and how do you think developing pitchers can look to do the same thing?
To be honest with you, I actually invest in this program. It's helped a tremendous amount, you know. It's all personal based, so whatever you lack and whatever you need, the program has for you. So I feel like
flexibility a lot.
I just feel like moving well contributes so much to like the strength aspects. So I feel like for development pitchers, just hit the weight room and, you know, just to do whatever your weakness is. Don't work on whatever you're good at. You know, if you're good at back squat, don't back squat. If you're bad at like reverse lunge, work on that. You know, just find ways to get better at whatever you're weak at.
You know, Matt, I'm not sure if you started your recruiting process a little bit or not, but as you're a junior, so you still got a little bit of time. But tell me a little bit about your college plans, what you're looking to do beyond high school sports.
I'm just hoping to go to a college that fits me well, both, you know, academically and for baseball, of course, as well. I just want to go to a school that'll compete, that'll win. I'd probably want to stay more in the Northeast. I think there's a lot more opportunities probably in the Northeast for me. So not too sure yet, but definitely starting, you know, to ramp up like recruiting and stuff and see about colleges right now.
And do you think you'd be more looking to play baseball or basketball in college? Do you think?
Baseball definitely.
Mm-hmm. And Matt Longo, I heard a little bit about your college plans. Told me a little bit about it, but tell me what do you think you're going to do for college and next year, and just the schools, maybe some schools you're looking at, and what your plans are? Because I know you've talked to your parents a lot about it, and tell me a little bit about what you're thinking.
Yeah, over the past week or so, I just started the recruiting process actually with talking to coaches and finding the true school for me. But as of next year, I think I'm going to be going to NCC, get my grades up, and maybe take the SAT again if coaches want me to. But I'm going to go NCC, get my grades up, and continue my training program, and just keep working, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like a solid plan. You know, just get some live at bats, and then work on your academics. Try to get transfer out of there, and then go to a bigger program and play there eventually. You know, every year there's usually one kid that steps up and fills a pretty big role in a varsity program. You know, for football, someone that we didn't expect to step up and have a huge year this year was Adam Ferrer. He really stepped up for us. He was someone that the coaches really didn't notice last year when he was a sophomore. They didn't really know who he was. He worked extremely hard in the weight room all offseason, and he carved out a starting role as a defensive end on our team this year. Matt was telling me about how he thinks that you and Christian could be huge contributors to this team.
A couple juniors, you know, we got Andrew Fortunato, Kyle Carrozza. You know, those are two pitchers that we're gonna need big time in this year, and they're gonna help us win games.
You didn't have an opportunity to start before this year. What do you think your role is going to be, and how are you looking to contribute on the field this year?
Are you talking to me?
No, Vivona.
For me, I think I can bring a really good bat into the lineup. I think that's probably my strength as a player. And I think what I'll help a lot is I'm pretty versatile in the field since I can play most positions. I think that'll help, so I can help out whether we need, if we're having problems in the infield or if we're having in the outfield, I could hopefully step up and play well in one of those positions if we needed.
Longo, reflect on your career a little bit. As a senior now, you've seen a lot, you've done a lot on the baseball field. If you were given the opportunity to talk to yourself from freshman year, just give them some advice to help advance their baseball career forward and just help them continue down the right path. What would you say to them?
I would just say to work harder. I didn't really take baseball seriously at a young age. I just played it for fun. I didn't have the goal to play college baseball, especially as a freshman in high school. I just want to play for fun and play with my buddies. But now, looking back at it, I wish I took it more seriously and started actually, using what I had around me to get better. But I think I just took it for granted.
Something I tell my freshmen. I would just tell myself just to be patient. Also, of course, with COVID, I think everyone learned, you don't really I think I probably took just playing in general for granted. I always had baseball, and once I realized, when we didn't have that season, I was obviously pretty devastated. So just always play, because you don't know when it's gonna be your last game or not. So take every opportunity you can get and run with it.
All right, this question's for both of you guys. What do you think your biggest weakness in terms of athletics is, and what are you doing to continue to work on that weakness of yours?
Probably for me is being an athlete. Being an athlete means you can play multiple sports. You're versatile. And for me, it's just one sport. I just play baseball. So right now, I'm just whatever I can. I'm trying to play football, even shoot some babies in my backyard. I'm just trying to be a true athlete. That's one thing I need to work on.
For me, something I've definitely tried putting a lot of work on during the off season was speed. I would say, especially if I do want to play middle infields at the higher level and even at high school, I definitely need to be faster. And I've also been working on my arm strength as well. I think that needs to get a little better, but definitely speed would probably be the biggest thing.
All right, and then continuing on from that, with the season coming up, what are your three biggest goals / things that you're working on and trying to do this season?
For me, number one is to win FCIACs. Number two, I'm trying to, build team
camaraderie.
Yeah. That. And I'm just trying to bring as much energy as I can to our team. I'm just trying to get everyone fired up, and that I feel the more energy you play with, the harder you guys go. So that's for sure.
I would say goal, definitely what Matt said, as a team, winning FCIACs, doing as good as we can. I don't know if there's going to be states, but if there's states, that as well. Probably another goal would just to be able to contribute whatever way I can on the fields. Whichever way will help our team win, whether it's hitting, fielding, whatever that is. And I guess my last goal is just to work hard through the whole season, not take any days off and just play hard through the whole season.
Yeah, those are some great goals to have. It's always tough playing in FCIAC, especially baseball. You have so many games, super long season. But just with the deep senior class, you got some great juniors along the way too. I think you guys will make a pretty good run this year at it.
For sure.
Thank you guys for coming on. Always a pleasure talking to you guys. But wish you guys the best of luck this season, and go Falcons.
Thank you for having us.
See you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We'll see you. Baseball team baseball is an interesting sport for sure. I was never too good at it myself when I was playing Little League growing up. I had a lot of respect for those guys. It takes a lot of skill to be a baseball player for sure. Soccer and baseball, I think, are the two hardest sports to be truly skilled at. Baseball, everything from hitting the ball coming at you 90 miles an hour, that tiny ball coming at you, to catching and just being able to close your glove at the right time when the ball's coming at you. takes a lot of skill to be able to do that. I mean, when you can look at football, for example. I mean, anyone just athletic enough can excel at football. You know, it takes a true amount of skill to be a good baseball player. It's really a skill-oriented sport. And so for these guys that are battling out there, I mean, it's tough to do what they do against some of these great teams in the FCIAC. But Ludlowe's always fights in terms of athletic. You know, Ludlowe hasn't always been recognized as one of the better FCIAC schools, but I think what the class of 2021 has brought to the athletics program and what each class is bringing after us has really advanced the history of Ludlowe sports. And I think Ludlowe is starting to become more and more recognized, and FCIAC is one of the better schools in terms of an athletic program. Ludlowe is growing each and every year as an athletic program, and I think each grade is bringing something new to the Ludlowe sports history, and I think that it'll continue to grow and make Ludlowe into a perennial playoff team in every sport in the FCIAC league. And so for Ludlowe baseball, I hope they have a great season this year. Hope that COVID doesn't slow them down at all, and I hope that all the spring sports have a great season. You know, next week we're going to be having the Ludlowe boys lacrosse team coming on, and then after that we will be having on the KMK owner. He runs a gym / training facility in Fairfield called KMK Training, where they train athletes. They train they do group training, they do individual training, all like sports specific training. If you ever heard of LOD, it's very similar to that. But yeah, you know, the owner's coming on. We're going to talk about nutrition, recruiting, and just athletics in general. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and of course, cop the merch. The merch is in the links. Listen to us on Spotify, and of course, follow me on Instagram, follow the Modern Athlete on Instagram, and just cop our merch. Subscribe. We'll see you guys next week.
If you liked what you saw here today, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and follow us down below. You can also listen to the Modern Athlete podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere where you find your podcast.